gonna scoot a little bit.
We're gonna go.
I use my fat rolls for good.
I also have pillows in case you would like a pillow for sitting.
The one, remember the sticker that you sent me when I said I was leaving? This is me right now. For anybody who is listening and not watching, I am doing I think it's a walrus.
I don't know what it is. So something from Star Trek? Star Wars? Shit.
We should close the window.
Do you think it's going to keep up?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you think it's going to pick up on audio?
I think so.
All right, hold on. This isn't part of the episode anyway.
Oh no. No. Look at me. We're just talking. Oh.
That was close.
The window has been closed.
It's going to suck in summer.
Oh yeah. We'll have
We're going to
to
be here like wearing our gym shirts.
Just sweating.
The strings.
Barely covering our nipples.
Sweating. Oh, welcome to One Corner. Oh, this is also not the intro of the podcast. Imagine if it was. Hello, welcome to One Corner. All right.
We're going to keep this everything.
I hope not.
Hi. Welcome to One Corner Missing. My name?
You said missing.
Missing?
You want to try it? Let's try it. You want to try it again?
We're keeping it in.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
We're doing it live. All right, take two. Welcome to One Corner Missing. I'm going to try to articulate like a good person. My name is Sav.
Wow.
We're not using real names for God knows what reason.
This is one hell of an introduction you got here.
Who are you? Who I am with today?
Wow. Hi, I'm Deemer. And welcome to One Corner Missing. Indeed, this is our podcast. This is the first time we've recorded in 6 weeks.
Yeah, I think so. It's been a while.
Yes, so please don't click away from the podcast. It doesn't mean that we're not doing it anymore.
Too late. They're gone.
They're all gone. Fuck, we shouldn't have said anything.
So,
6 weeks because life has happened to us, hasn't it? Like we've had injuries, we've had massive workloads, we've had illness, we've had holidays. We've had a bit of everything.
It was a mixture of everything, like at the same time, holiday, injury, and work.
All at the same time, correct?
No, work was something else. Imagine if the injuries were work sustained. We're not even doing any physical work.
Just the emotional ones.
Oh yeah, just emotional damage.
Beautiful. Just the emotional injuries.
Yeah. How was work? Just copy paste the meme of emotional damage.
And also, usually when we record, we first go to the gym together because we're two gym bros.
Yes.
Clearly, the people who can see the video feed can tell that we're both huge, jacked, muscular bros.
I don't know how to flex.
Yeah. This is me when I flex in the mirror and I'm like, aren't I supposed to see muscles when I do this? I don't understand. All the shirtless men on Instagram, they have muscles when they do this.
I've been doing this for half a year. Where's the result?
I don't understand, but they're telling me that you're weak if you don't go to the gym 9 times a week. Which is true. That is weak. It's weak. Okay, but we don't have to keep this in the episode. we just cut this out of the episode. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm just going to
purposefully be very silent, so you're like, hello.
Well, that's another thing that's changed, hopefully for the better, since our last episode. That I just want to briefly touch on is that we've edited our previous episodes, and Yay. Boy howdy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So there are two things, or a couple of things. You might notice we're very, very stiff with our microphones right now. If you're currently watching this, we are very aware of our microphone positioning.
Yeah, we are. It's great. It's like it's tracking me.
It
my
is.
microphone is tracking my mouth on purpose because we tend to not do that in our previous episodes. And boy, howdy.
It is not great.
Jiminy whiskers.
Oh,
Goodness gracious me.
Jolly Roger.
Oh, Jolly Roger. The editing was a process. It was a process that I went through mostly.
Because for you, it was the first time editing, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken. For me, it was already the whatever time I've been editing videos, but still, yeah. We've come across a couple of things that number one thing, we try to articulate. Number 2 thing, we try to keep the microphones in front of our mouths.
Very difficult.
3, not fiddle with our microphones.
Yeah, I have a death grip on my microphone for a very specific reason.
Same. And my arm is currently cramping up a little bit because I need to find a different position, I think.
True. It's good we didn't do gym in the morning because this is the workout.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing today's gym day
Grip
is
strength.
left arm grip strength.
For me, it's right arm. We need to switch places.
No, I'm fine. This works for me.
Not for me. My right arm is already bigger than my left arm.
Wait. I see.
There we are.
Well done.
Well done.
Yeah, so that's definitely that's another one. Is definitely keeping the mic here, up to where the mouth hole is, and
right in the mouth hole,
right up to the mouth hole, like that guy in that video, like "Go on, England!" Oh, it's so good. And yeah, the death grip,
yeah,
because the editing was it was for me, it was quite nightmarish. I'm not gonna lie, it was very educational. Which is good, and I'm glad that we did it ourselves so that we know what we need to pay attention to.
Later, we just outsource it.
Yeah, I remember I did the editing for, I'm not going to say which episode, because, I mean, the people, if they've listened to this one, they might have listened to the previous ones, and if so, they know which one I'm talking about. The first episode I edited was hot garbage. It was so bad.
Wait, I'm actually thinking of which one, because
it was the first episode we have, not episode 1, episode 2.
Wait.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It doesn't matter. It truly doesn't matter. But it was tough. It was tough. Mostly because, specifically several things. Specifically several things. Yeah. It's very confrontational to see yourself or hear yourself ramble on about a topic. And you're like, what am I even talking about? Which, again, I think this is the podcast as well, and I hope someone likes this.
Same. Like, who is listening
Who's
currently?
listening to this? Because it's not going to be me. No, and also some mouth noises that I'm hyper acutely aware of that I'm still going to make, unfortunately, because that's just how it is. But also, the fiddling of the microphone, I had to try to split or remove the little sections of audio where I was moving my hands or switching my hand position. That was so exhausting to do that in the course of an hour episode. I had to do that 3 times. But so after the first episode I edited, I was like, wow, this is bad. This is not good. But then I edited the second episode, and I that one for me as a editor and a listener felt so much better.
The one with the one top, the shitty episode.
Correct.
We should call it our shitty episode.
Because it is. And ironically, it's our one good episode. Our shitty episode is our good episode.
That's the funny part.
Oh boy, what does that mean? Our other episodes are. But so that one was easier for sure to edit. But it was really interesting. I used a editing program on the iPad to do it.
I'm still shook about.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, I have a delivery. Hold on.
Special delivery. So this part of the podcast is where I just talk into the microphone and try to fill the void while Deemer is going and getting his package cleaned. Oh, he's back.
Oh shit!
I was not talking about you.
So sorry about that. I meant to. We just had a little interruption because we had a delivery, and I apologize for that. I forgot to mention
I entertained the guests.
I bet you did. I'm not worried at all about the implications of that.
I'm going to edit this episode. Don't worry about it.
Good. So what was I talking about? So I used editing software on the iPad for the episodes that I've done.
Yeah.
And I might use a program on Windows for the next few ones because it's possible, but I don't know if it's the most efficient way to edit.
Okay.
It's good, especially it's nice for, let's say I have to edit some episodes, but I'm traveling or I'm somewhere
Very
else.
Portable,
I know that I can do it, and it works well. And the software is on there, but I think maybe I might want to try a different one. We'll see.
Are you gonna look? Do you already have one on your mind, or
I have one that's mostly for video editing.
Oh, you already have it.
Yes,
Okay.
it's free.
Yeah. Ooh, free. I like free.
I'm cheap. So yeah, that's been my experience with editing. So that's why I'm being extra mindful, and you are as well.
Yes.
Because you've also edited an episode, and you definitely shared my
Oh yeah.
shared my conclusions.
I've
Fortunately,
edited 2. So the one. So we're currently recording with GarageBand, and we're also recording video with OBS. But basically, what happened is we lost the GarageBand file, and we only had the OBS one, which wasn't terrible. But the fact is that we couldn't split the audio. So the audio was mixed with both our microphones. You could hear a lot of echo. And I was like, okay, this is salvageable. Let's do this. I've edited. I've put in like a lot of time, like trying to fiddle around with all the gains, everything. And at the end of it, I was very happy with it. And then I edited the next episode with the GarageBand files, and then we compared them, and we were like, nope, we're not using the first one because it was legit the first one.
yeah, and you got to bear with us. We've never done any of this before. We're just two little podcast babies.
Podcasting,
still.
never.
Yeah.
No, we've done streaming. Oh, I've done YouTube, but podcasting
Yeah.
is a whole nother beast.
really is.
Weirdly enough, I don't know why.
I also don't get it. It's I think it's because I am so much more aware of the necessity of good audio
Oh yeah,
in every single way, like no background noises, no like weird fiddling noises, but also like pronouncing clearly and making sure that the flow is good. When I'm streaming, I was just talking shit, and I was surprised that I even had a viewer. You know what I mean? It just didn't matter as much. But this, I feel like this is like a conscious thing that you're clicking on to listen to while you're in the gym or driving or contemplating
exactly.
a plant.
But like, yeah, streaming was more of a unfiltered stream of consciousness, because like in streaming, you are distracted by a game, you are distracted by chat.
It's difficult, isn't it?
It's difficult and also easy at the same time. It is draining every single
is,
time at the
yeah.
end of a stream. Like, for example, I streamed between 2 and 4 hours average, on average.
That's a long time to
It
be
is,
on.
but
Yeah.
like when you're in it, you don't realize it. You're like going, you're talking, you're doing it. I mean, for me, anyways.
Yeah,
And then as soon as I hit the stop stream button, I felt like the whole tiredness come in, and I was like, "Oh God, I need to just chill a little bit."
Yeah.
Let my brain process what just happened, because there's so you're if the chat is a little bit active, you're having multiple conversations at the same time, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Yep. So we'll. I hope we can only improve the quality going forward. I hope this one will already be a step forward. If not, we're trying. Don't worry, we're doing our best. I promise.
I'm also there was a fourth point on which we're trying to pay attention, is like not interrupting each other, and so far I'm like very aware of it, because
I've got a throbbing vein here on my neck every time you're talking, where I'm trying not to interrupt you too much.
Same.
It's a lot. It's good, but it feels good. It feels good. So let's we'll see how it goes. Anyway,
so far it's good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't intend to make this into a podcast about a podcast. I apologize.
Oh, same.
But yeah, that's
we're just going with it.
Exactly. But yeah, it's been very educational so far, and I'm excited to see how this one goes. I hope my little crackling issue is gone mostly. Otherwise, we'll figure something out. I'm not too worried about it.
We'll see what happens after this. And the important thing is we're learning.
Yeah.
We're learning, and any feedback, by the way, anybody who's watching this, and I don't know,
Or listening.
You cannot comment on Spotify, right?
Some people also listen to podcasts.
Yeah. I'm the video boy.
Yeah. What do you mean watching a podcast? That'd be amazing. Putting a podcast on your app and just looking at it.
Side note, I have been receiving like Spotify commercials because I do not have the premium yet, and they talk about watching a podcast on Spotify. I think there's now a possibility to stream.
Huh?
I'm not sure. I must have misheard it, but they were like, yeah, now you can stream on your television, but you can also mute the video so you can only listen to it. I was like, when can you upload videos on Spotify? What happened?
We're getting old. We're not in the loop anymore.
Oh no, the loop has gone.
Yep.
I'm just behind now.
I embrace being out of the loop. It's kind of great.
It is freeing sometimes.
I have a lot of thoughts on that, which maybe this episode, maybe next episode, I can divulge a bit. It's good to be out of the loop.
We can do it now.
You want to do it?
Do it.
You want to do it with me now?
Let's do it.
On camera?
Yes, it's
in front of God?
For our Patreon.
Because God is watching this.
Imagine God taking off time. Like if there's a God is just like, no. World hunger? No. I want to see what those two fuckers are
There's
up to.
not several incredibly fucked up events currently happening in the world that he needs to step in on.
It's like,
or she,
no,
or they, or I think maybe the reason is that they're just not there.
Omnipotent.
yeah. Great omnipotence. Boy, howdy, look at all that omnipotence that you've been using lately.
Still procrastinating. That motherfucker.
I mean, he did make us in his image.
They
did make, in the Bible it says he, I think.
I'm not sure.
And I'm a Catholic.
You read it. You read the Bible.
I did.
I forget about the whole fact that you read it.
It wasn't very good.
As a story. I'm still shooketh.
Can't recommend.
Speaking of being out of the loop, before I left here, I saw a video of, like, you know those videos of how it's made, and they're like explaining, and there was a small video on Instagram explaining the Gen Z slang. Like there were 4 words, but very like, okay, what was the one? GOAT. It means greatest of all time. So if somebody says Messi is the GOAT of football, they mean he's the greatest footballer of all time. And there were like 4 of these words. And I was like, I knew 3 of them, I think.
Oh,
and the first one, I was like, I vaguely knew the usage of it, but I'm kind of getting out of touch. So
yeah. I think that's fair. I think it's the same for me when I see a little summary of like, oh, this is how kids speak nowadays. I get like 75% of it. And then there's a few where I'm like, what?
I also have to catch up. Like currently, I'm the one that I'm not on. Like I don't get it, but I vaguely know what it means. It's just like the A and then triple H usage, like something and then description. I think exactly. I've seen that a couple of times, and I was like, what does it mean? I'm out of the loop. But I do not know I can't give you like an example. It's so stupid because I should have like kept it somewhere.
It's fine.
But 100% in a week we'll see those examples there.
But wait, isn't that just how people talk? Like
No.
It's not that?
No, it's getting another meaning.
Huh?
But I'll update you maybe on the next podcast if I don't forget. I'll dive into the new slang.
I felt that way about like sheesh.
Oh,
I thought
yeah.
it was like geez. Initially, the first time I was like, oh yeah, it's like geez.
Yeah.
But it's not like oh geez. It's like sheesh. Yeah, it's like a whole thing. Why?
It's been, I mean, it's a little bit of mixed feeling, because some of the words, like in our era, were also very popular, but cringy to use. Like, I think cool was one of them. For me, anyways, it was just like, yeah, people use it, but it's weird. And I think with sheesh is also more ironically.
Yeah,
It never
felt sincere when I saw
no.
it.
Sheesh, that was a good meal.
But that's kind of cool, though. It's kind of nice that it's so self-aware. You know,
Yeah.
It's like, which I don't think we were as self-aware of our verbiage. Is verbiage a word?
A verbiage. Hi, my verbituality. Huh?
Wow.
I was trying
I hope
to
you guys
think
are enjoying our podcast.
when we talk about everything and nothing at the same time.
Verbiage.
I was trying to think of an example, like of a word that we were maybe self-aware about, but it escapes me.
I definitely remember cool being an unusual word to use and being a little bit aware of it. Like, ooh, this is like a weird word that maybe some people would be like, why are you saying that word?
Hey, bro, are you cool?
Yeah.
It was
that's really cool. But
usually
I mean,
the quote or like, are you down to smoke?
We're talking about like the late 90s, you know?
Yeah. But maybe
It's a while ago.
maybe our parents were like, yeah, cool was just a regular word.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. What do we know? Not much.
Welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to our podcast. We don't know much.
We don't know much.
That's kind of valid, I think, because there's way too many guys who think they know everything on a podcast.
I mean, we're hopefully people will see our kind of sincerity in a way of we just talk.
Yeah, we do.
There is no claim of being self-aware, obviously, because otherwise we wouldn't be human. But just like, I know things about stuff.
Sheesh. Oh boy, that was the worst sheesh I've ever done. It's also the second sheesh I've ever done. The first one was the one that I said earlier.
No cap.
How? Oh. But it's good. It's good to no longer be in the loop. I think it's okay to accept.
Oh yeah, accept defeat when it's here.
I also think it's really funny, and that's the last thing I want to. I'm not going to bore our audience. I'm not going to bore
one person,
the one person that has listened to this further. I really enjoy the way the youths use the word bro in Flemish.
Broeder.
No, yeah, also broer or bro.
Oh my god!
I think that's so funny.
The last one it gives me the ick.
Yeah. For me, it's really genuinely really weird. But in a way, I also kind of like it. It's kind of nice, you know. It's kind of like a nice way to talk about each other.
Yes,
it's it doesn't feel like it's like shitty in any way.
No, using the word bro or whatever, I don't care. I use that as well. Yeah. But the way that you said it in the Flemish accent is what ticked me off. Yeah, I think.
And that is how they say it.
No.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I mean, sometimes, yeah. But
because it would also be weird to speak like Flemish and then use an English pronunciation for a word.
We should ask my good friend. He's a teacher, and he sees a lot of the youth. Like he's that's the person that I always go to.
That you look to for the changes,
for slang.
The changes,
like literally. Yeah. He starts talking and he uses a word or like an expression. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh yeah, this is a new thing that kids are using. I'm like, you shouldn't.
A while ago, so I've been drastically reducing social media, which is good. But a while ago, I saw something on social media, which is bad. And this was a video, and they were kind of. It was shared on social media because people were like, "This is garbage. This is hot garbage."
Okay.
But it was two politicians. I don't recall what party they were, but they were like using like on purpose, like reading off of a script of youth slang.
Oh,
you might have seen this.
Oh my god!
It was like every word or every other word was basically like Gen Z slang.
Oh, I've seen that.
And they were both, I would say, like around their 50 or something.
I think they were a little bit older. Yeah.
But it was this. I also don't understand is this need that. Marketing or older people have to be like, oh, we're gonna use Gen Z or like young people slang to like as like a gimmick or as a joke, and that kind of annoys me. Yeah, and I'm not Gen Z, obviously, but I would be. Obviously. It's so annoying because it's like, what's the purpose? It's a joke, I guess. I mean, you're trying to appeal to them or you're trying to laugh at them. I don't understand what you're doing, but either way, it doesn't work.
I think appeal because. It was the same. I think it's every generation is the same because I remember there was it's weird to translate in English, but basically in primary school, I think. Yeah. And at some point we all received like a helmet for sport activities, just like a sponsorship, like for skateboarding. Oh, youth is just doing sports, here's a helmet.
Kids be skating.
Yeah, exactly.
Famously.
So that was okay-ish, but alongside came like a sticker sheet that you can decorate your helm with.
Oh, here we go.
And there was like, I don't even remember the specific words, but I think cool was one of them, and like kapow, whatever, like the slang of the youth. And I was like, I'm not using any of those stickers because why?
It's really funny to me to have a skate helmet and then have a sticker on it that says "cool." That's so bad.
Gee whiz.
Radical.
This
is radical.
I think that was like one of those stickers. It could have been.
Oh,
it's
okay. When I grew up back in the 1850s, we had
back in my day
television channels in color, and we had advertisements for toys. And I remember distinctly, also this being very 90s, like late 90s coded. Every toy for boys was extreme, and was also like branded like X.
Oh my god!
Extreme, you know, X-Stream. Like everything, like, oh, it's so extreme. It's like, and it just, what?
It was everything, like RC cars.
Yeah.
Oh, extreme flips. It can ride up the walls.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck.
You know exactly what I was thinking
Action Man, whatever. Oh, yeah.
Extreme. So good.
I think every commercial was somewhere like in dirt. Like there were dirt piles and they were just riding on it or just running on it or doing anything like in dirt.
Every commercial was in dirt. Every commercial on the television was in dirt. There was commercial about laundry detergent. It was in dirt.
Birth control.
In dirt. Oh, you have some congestion? We have some medication for you. It's in the dirt. Pick it up, you swine. It's extreme.
Be extreme.
Extreme congestion pills. No. So that was not that was not exactly accurate.
Yeah, but like the action figure or boy toys were just everything. No. Don't go there.
The boy toys?
Don't go there.
What television were you watching?
I don't want to talk
the
about
new
it.
extreme boy toy. Also in dirt. Because mud wrestling.
The Twink 3000.
You can flip it. Okay.
Twist it. Bop it. Pull it. Suck it.
Well, you know, we have a colleague at the office and he always takes it a little bit too far.
No. That's not too far. No. That was just a good joke. Like our colleagues, no, you cannot.
You weren't specify what you were sucking. You could have been sucking his kneecap. I was trying to think of the least weird thing to suck, and I don't know why I thought of kneecap.
You picked the weirdest one.
Yeah, probably.
Because the kneecap can feel a little bit loose.
Oh God.
Do you have loose kneecaps or?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
No, my kneecaps are hot garbage, so probably. They're really bad. Every time I like bump into something, it hurts so bad. My kneecaps are garbage.
You're a slinky boy. So.
Yeah, maybe that's why. I don't know.
But can you move them around?
I don't want to know. Is that an acceptable question?
I think there are two kind of people that can, and I for example, can. I'm not. I mean, it doesn't really matter if I show it or not.
I don't want you
but
to
you
show
can,
it.
if you relax your leg, you can just like wiggle around the plate.
Do that a little bit.
Some people cannot do that, I think.
It's gross. I don't know what it is about kneecaps, but they gross me out, man.
Yeah, same.
Right?
Yeah.
The just as a concept, I'm like, what is? Huh? How does it work? Why does it hurt? How does it work? Why does it hurt my body? the story of my body.
The body.
How does it work and why does it hurt? Explain. Me when I go to the doctor.
Every single time.
How does it?
What seems to be the problem?
Well, I want to know how it works and why it hurts, please. Thank you.
Could you specify? No, just generally.
Just it.
Yeah.
Just the it.
Didn't you have like biology lessons at school? No.
God,
I never paid attention.
They never told us why it hurts. Why does it hurt?
How it works, they did explain. But like,
wait, so how does a kneecap work?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
This is a great podcast episode.
I know.
Can I just say, my God, we've been talking about what a podcast is, how difficult it is to do podcast for us, and the extreme 90s and kneecaps. I feel like this is our best episode yet.
It's unfiltered. We don't pretend to know anything.
That's true.
I could have tried explaining how a knee works, but I have no idea.
Okay.
Look it up. Google it.
I kind of want to... What do you think a kneecap is, though? I kind of want to know now. Talk to me like one of those Finance Bros podcast boys.
Finance Bros. Invest in crypto. Your knees will be healthy then.
I mean, that is literally what they would say. You're not wrong.
A kneecap. Okay.
Just be an authority on it. Just be like, oh yeah, obviously, this is how a kneecap works.
Wait,
it's easy, man.
Before we continue on the whole topic, is why do knees freak you out? Is it because you do not know how they work, or did you just feel weird?
Feel weird, kind of look weird.
Okay.
If you like, sometimes if you see
yeah.
if you see someone's knees, it's like that's strange.
Ew, gross.
it's inconsistent in terms of the folds and the shapes, which I don't really enjoy. Mine, if I do this, it kind of like bops out a little bit.
I mean, it does,
which I don't like.
Everybody has that.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. The idea of what if it's not there? Do my legs just like bend backwards? I don't like that at all. Like at all. Can it break? I don't. What happens when it breaks? You know what I mean? I have
a lot of pain.
I have some anxieties about my knees. I think in general,
knees weak, mom spaghetti.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't really. I see the point of it, but I feel like my elbow doesn't have a kneecap. You know what I mean?
It does.
Wait, what?
A small kneecap? Like
my elbow has a small kneecap?
That thing that's sticking out. I think that's it, right?
No, that's just the bone.
Huh.
Because that's the thing. Because a kneecap to me is like a separate piece of bone, right?
It is. It
right?
is loose, I think, in a way.
Yeah. It's not attached to. It is attached to the bone, but not by bone. It's attached to the bone by sinews,
cartilage, maybe.
Blood vessels.
I think I would have known how it all worked, if you've asked me just after school.
Yeah.
Now it's just
like why do we have kneecaps but not elbow caps? Genuine question.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly. So I'm just like, I don't understand. I just don't get it. It's just a little bit off.
How little we know about our own bodies.
Yeah.
The reason why I asked you about why do kneecaps freak you out is because I remember a specific point in my childhood when it started to freak me out.
Sorry.
Wah.
I'm sorry. I'm trying so hard not to interrupt you anymore. It's really difficult, okay? You have to understand. You do understand.
Don't tell her you love her. You just go, whoa.
Whoa. Sorry.
That's a meme reference for anybody who doesn't know.
You were saying, before I rudely interrupted you?
The specific moment when kneecaps started to freak me out is when I was watching a Jackie Chan movie. I think it was Jackie Chan or one of the Asian fighting movies, kung fu movies, I think. I was way into it back in the day. And there was, at some point, a fighter. I think they were a twin. And basically the whole fighting technique consisted of one guy standing and the other guy standing on his shoulders with his feet, just like they made a tower, basically.
That is ridiculous.
And
that is so ridiculous.
I know, it is, but it looked ridiculous, and basically it made them almost invincible, because there was something to the technique, if you tried to attack them, they defended in this weird way, and they always restacked each other.
What the hell?
Yes.
What was this movie?
I don't know. It was...
What the fuck?
Fighting movies, a whole different breed. I can go on. I've seen so many. It's ridiculous. But the whole thing is how the protagonist defeated this adversary was by standing on the kneecaps of the person that was on the bottom and just fighting the other one on top or something like that, but just using the kneecaps as a weak point to just stand on them and then just scoot them. And that whole image started the whole anxiety for me. Is wait, kneecaps can move. And then I touched mine, it just moved. And then the whole, to this day, I remember that scene so vividly, because I'm it moves, it's weird. And
that is incredible. Also, just the imagery of what you described is haunting, frankly.
I know, right?
It is haunting.
That's how I remember. Maybe it's completely different. But
what if none of that happens in that movie?
Just my childhood memory.
It's just a normal movie of two people meeting each other and finding love. And your little goblin brain is wow, they're standing on each other's shoulders and they're fighting, and it involves kneecaps.
Meanwhile, my boy brain, yes,
this extreme.
Extreme.
I love playing Tekken.
Oh yeah, did I mention they were fighting in the dirt?
I worry about you, man. I really do.
But okay,
that's crazy. Yeah, for me, I think it's like I don't like the idea of like the knees, and this is something that truly still haunts me to this day. Is what if the kneecap fails and your legs like, and like in gym situations.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is something I don't want to see, and I don't want to be this.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it happens.
Yeah.
If you do certain exercise bad, you know, with bad form.
Yes.
And with heavy weights, it's an injury that can happen, and it really. I don't like it. I don't enjoy that at all.
Full disclaimer to anybody who's listening, to anybody who's watching. If you're very icky about this topic, I'm going to describe.
Oh no.
Can I describe? Are you okay with it?
I don't know if I am.
I've seen a couple of videos of those injuries. Are you ready? Or do we just skip the topic?
Okay, can I gather myself for a moment? Okay,
yes.
Hold on.
I know, because last time I think I vaguely mentioned you while we were at work, like a long time ago, and you were like, please stop.
Yeah,
you started like gagging.
I honestly don't know if I'm ready for it. But at the same time, I'm wondering if you describing it can either make it worse for me, or it can make it better, because then at least I kind of know what it is.
I think you will not do the machine that I'm describing.
Is it the one where you're like not seated, but kind of like on the floor, seated-ish, and you have the weight above the squat thing,
leg
right?
press?
Yeah. I mean, I don't do that one anyway.
Okay.
And that's also the one that I thought of as being the... Oh, I don't know though. I don't know if I'm ready for it.
Okay, I'm just gonna lay it on you.
Okay.
Trauma bonding.
Man.
So basically, it was a video of.
I'm gonna make this sound the whole time.
It was like IRL muting me.
This is good audio, right? Me just going.
Just, you hear
for
me
like 5 minutes without breathing.
You hear me like very quietly in the background. So there's video, just like increasing.
And then the episode just ends with me just screaming off the top of my lungs for like 10 minutes, and then it just stops.
Yes.
And you have to call an ambulance.
And that's the episode.
What if this is the thing that pushes me over the edge, man?
It won't. I mean, you grew up with the 4chan era, right? You've seen all the fucked up videos there were.
Yeah, but they haunt me.
But you haven't seen this one yet.
I don't want to see this one. Okay, fine. Fuck it.
Okay. Ready? It's not that horrific.
Okay.
It's just...
This is a lie, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. How dare you? So are you gaslighting me?
Oh, yes. I see what you did there.
All right, fine. Okay, so you can describe it to me, and we should also like keep it really brief so that it's easy to skip as well.
Yeah.
So try to describe it in like... Can you describe it in like 30 seconds, you think?
Oh, definitely. It's not a long video.
Because most podcast apps also have like a 30-second skip.
Okay.
So you can describe it to me within 30 seconds.
Okay.
And then people can skip it. All right?
Okay.
Ready? And
wait. I'm gonna give a full disclaimer so people are ready to skip. So I am going to start telling the story right now. So if you want to skip, this is the moment. So the video is basically of a gentleman demonstrating the leg press in a shopping mall, and an old lady sits down, and she's like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna do the leg press. You just push it out, and then go back." Like with the legs. And I think they put on too much weight, or the lady was not strong enough. So she pushes the whole machine, and then she locks her knees, which you never should do in a leg press. And yeah, the legs just go backwards basically. And the salesperson just is in shock, obviously. But yeah, it happened so fast. That's why when I started doing the leg press, I was like, yeah, never lock the knees. Never lock the knees.
oh my God, that's...
So it can happen. But I think it usually happens with people who are older, whose muscles aren't that strong. I don't think it happens easily to people whose legs are kind of developed.
The problem I have now is I still have questions.
Oh yeah, by the way, we're back. The horrible story is done.
Yeah, and the problem is I still have questions, and I don't want to ask them.
Okay.
I'm also not comfortable asking them for people who wanted to skip this content.
I mean, we could...
We want to do another 30-second break?
Are your questions relevant to the imagery?
My questions are of an of a visual nature and of an auditory nature.
Both horrible is my answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that answers everything.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. I'm really glad that's great.
Okay.
I'm also like, sorry to interrupt you, but this is also why I'm afraid genuinely of certain, especially when I was on Instagram more, like certain Instagram channels,
Oh yeah.
like gym fails and stuff. I run away from those because I don't want to know. Because I want to be able to
Enjoy my
go
workout.
to the gym and have my anxieties and be like, oh, you're being silly. I don't want to know. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've seen like the thing with the gym fail videos is, pardon me, I will very gassy today.
I gave him sparkling water, you see. It was me all along. It was me who
It's
was
treason then.
sabotaging him. Yes. Soon I will take over this podcast. And you will be nothing.
Is this your
You
whole
will be
plan?
left in the dirt.
In
Call
the
back.
extreme
In
dirt.
the extreme dirt. Hey, sorry. Oh, jeez. What am I going to do on this podcast alone?
Wait, what was I talking about?
Wait, who? Huh?
I was getting to
Are we
a point.
recording something? Oh, gym fails.
Gym fails. Yeah. Oh, holy. Thank you.
Oh man, we're good at this.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have slept because my thought wasn't finished. The thing is with gym fail videos, they start off good, and you're like, oh, somebody's doing an exercise, and you just start watching it. But then it happens so fast that I've seen a couple of them because of that, and I hate it.
Yeah.
100% genuine, valid. Skip the whole thing. There is no need for that.
Gym fails, there's absolutely no point to it. For me, it's genuinely, I'm not joking, it's genuinely traumatizing content, and I don't know why it's so readily available. Maybe I'm a snowflake, but genuinely for me, it's like, this is stuff that I don't need to see on a social media platform.
Yeah, same. But there's a little bit of a two opinions. Pro and con.
I'm assuming maybe the benefit could be that it teaches people to be mindful of form and to do their research before they do any exercise. Correct?
Also, yes, but also
but also funny.
No, I mean some fails are funny, but like the really bad ones that hurt never make me laugh.
Yeah, no.
But for me, is more like we're not exposed to horrific imagery enough. No, but like for example, if you see
that is a villain origin story right there. I think we're not exposed to horrific imagery enough. I think people should see suffering more.
It's not about the money.
It's about mission.
Showing the masses horrific imagery.
How do you think I got these scars? That's you.
Emotional scars.
This is going to be an interesting podcast evolution where within like the next 50 episodes, you're going to become more and more a supervillain.
I'm just
going to be the same dude the whole time, and you're just going to start dressing more elaborately and getting like more weird like scars, and like your voice is going to transform.
Like a full Joker makeup in a couple of podcasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole thing is like we don't see enough of like horrific stuff to normalize it. Like it shouldn't be normal, but if you see enough of it, you'll be like, okay, it doesn't traumatize me as much, if that makes sense.
So I understand what you're saying as a concept, and I think it's true that we're
very shielded of those things.
Yes. Which, good or bad, is it bad that there's not as many horrible things happening around us?
No, not necessarily happening. It's just the visual of it. Like, for example, there are cultures that celebrate death. It is beautiful, and there is more of a positive connotation to it.
Yes.
And here it's just like, oh no, sad and everything dark and whatever.
So yeah, we're definitely talking from the lens of where we live.
Yeah, 100%.
But it is I completely agree with you on that aspect of it, where due to a certain religion, let's call it Christianity.
Let's call it capitalism.
Let's just call it, I don't know, Christianity, Catholicism, something like that. Just a certain religion.
Monotheistic one.
Just a certain monotheistic religion called Catholicism, where it truly does, and also our culture in general, it hides death.
injury
in
as
every
well.
way. Like sick people, dying people are put in a specific location.
Yeah, exactly.
Away from the general public, where in the past you used to literally have, well, you would see people dying at home more. So you would have relatives dying at home, or like passing away at home, or like being taken care of in their final days at home. And now it's like, if you're elderly, if you're sickly, we just put you in a
Go in a
specific
box.
place,
Yeah.
and we're not there for it. And the same with funerals as well. Like it's you're quote unquote lucky if you see them in an open casket. Even that is a bit weird, for us. But yeah, usually someone dies and that's it. They're hidden forever. I mean, how many dead bodies have you seen in your life?
Maybe 2 tops.
Yeah, exactly. And you've been alive for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
In any other, well, let's say when we're talking about several hundred years ago, that would not have been the case. You would have seen many more.
And it would have been more normal.
Yes.
Like now it's super shocking. If you see a dead body.
Yeah. You would see this a lot in medieval art, even though I did say that it's mostly Catholicism. But I think it's more like modern medicine and Catholicism combined that make dead people or sickly people something we put away. But in like medieval art, you would see a lot more like skeletons and weird dead bodies, and like people that are flayed, no skin. You would just see that as a thing, and also people would see that. Sometimes there would be like these horrific executions that people would go to for all sorts of reasons.
Entertainment.
And it's literally like they would do like they would inflict horrible injuries on people in a very public setting. For me, of course, it's difficult for me to be like, oh, and that was good. You know what I mean? And that was a good thing. And people were happier that was happening. I don't know about that. But yeah, making it all like clinical and sort of unnatural is weird.
Yeah.
Especially when we talk about death and like aging and being sick. I very much agree with you that it is. I understand where it comes from a medical viewpoint. But I do think it makes it more difficult to deal with death. Yeah,
the processing of it gets more difficult because we're too shielded of things. Like we live in a perfect bubble sometimes. That there's like, okay, death doesn't exist, or I mean, you only hear about it basically, and you don't see too much of it. And if even like a close relative dies, seeing it, not really.
Yeah. And then on the other hand, you have like a very very topical, unfortunately, war and war imagery, where I'm very conflicted in the sense that on one hand it is important to show the inhumanity of war and the suffering that it inflicts on just people, and like literally just the inexplicable horribleness of it, of like, limbs missing and all sorts of horrible things. But on the other hand, there's also a part of me that's like, well, it's kind of exploitative in a way, in terms of remembering these people that are real people, who are being bombed or whatever. It's also kind of, in a sense, weird to like show their bodies like so widely available for like people as like a means to an end, where it's like it was still a person and they deserve some sort of
closure.
Yeah, it shouldn't just be that. It should also be, who was this person, and that's sometimes missing as well. So I don't know if it's good or bad. Honestly, I'm a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, same.
I don't know what I would say is good or bad.
I'm also like always on the verge of both things. Like, yes, I want to overexpose myself to those things that I'm more numb to it, in a sense of like just watching. Like, for example, you're watching a YouTube video of cooking, and you also see like those gym fails, and it's the same in a way of like informative. Like, for example, you say, these videos serve more of a cautionary tale, like what you shouldn't do in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, in that way, I want to see those videos so I'm like prepared of certain events and I'm not shocked by it. For example, if it happens in real life, Like, for example, if you're doing an exercise and something happens to you, I'm not like super shocked, but I'm just like, okay, this happened. We just can deal with it. Yeah. So you process it now instead of like
at the moment.
Yeah. And then that's how you get PTSD and just like whole shebang of it.
So that's an interesting way of looking at it, actually. Yeah, because I was going to ask you, like, okay, but why do you want to be desensitized? And that makes sense. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
But the other side of it is just, am I mentally ready?
Genuinely, though.
Yeah,
genuinely,
exactly.
though.
Because I like the video that I described that we let the people skip the podcast. I was not prepared for it. I was just looking at the video and I saw it, and then it haunted me for at least a month or two. I just saw, because maybe I have like a very imaginative visualization.
Yeah.
Like I see it very clearly. Like to this day, I still can just play it in my mind. But still, like I would have liked to see the video and not be just thinking about it for 2 months
exactly.
straight.
Yeah, or the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Now it doesn't hurt me as much. It just is there, but like I had to process it for a little bit.
Yeah, maybe the processing that's actually a good thing that you bring up. Maybe that's what's kind of missing.
Yeah.
Like being able to talk about it, or like getting more information, like what happened afterwards.
Yeah.
Maybe that's like, because maybe the one of the issues, especially with internet, is that we just see the sensational part of it, and then you have to kind of live with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think we're probably thinking about it more because we don't have closure.
There is no compartmentalization. There's just like, here it is, deal with it. Yeah. And you're like, why, who, when, how?
Yeah.
And then if you have to research it, 80% of the time you're not going to get the answers that you want or closure that you want. Exactly.
I think it's a really good thing to think about. Actually, it's a really interesting topic. That I think I have more thoughts about it than I realized. Now that we're talking about it,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to give you it's good. A whole new thing to think about, because you know us,
I'll just add to the pile.
Thinking entities.
It's fine, but again, like with the again, I'm not going to go into detail, but related to some of the wars happening, some of the many wars that are happening, I saw something. There were like a couple of things a while ago where it was very much that thing of like, am I going to watch this or not?
Yeah.
And why? You know, why do I want to watch it or not watch it? Why is it good that I watch it, or why is it good that I don't? In terms of aftercare.
Aftercare is a good way of putting it.
Yeah. And there's a lot of one of the footage was shot from a drone, I think, and that also is extra horrific in a way because it's so dehumanizing.
Yeah,
and I think that's also why it's something that's still like in the back of my head a lot. Is it's a certain type of violence that is even worse.
Somehow worse.
It's like computer violence almost in a way, and it just and then
it feels like a computer game for some reason.
You're watching something happen from like far above, and then something happens, and you kind of have to deal with the fact like those were people.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's sort of a difficult thing in itself, regardless of the whole context of the what's happening there, even. And that is also something that now that we're talking about it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's still something that's kind of in the back of my head. Like I saw that, and
trauma.
On purpose, I was like, it's important to. We've talked about this before. It's important to know about what's happening in the world, and at the same time, it's difficult because of the things that you can do about it.
I mean, yeah, the things that you can do about it is a whole different topic, I think. But just the processing of things, I think it should come at a younger age, because if things are explained clearer and without like the shocking factor of it, the rationalization of things, or just the explanation of things. Obviously, you cannot prepare anybody for anything or of everything.
No.
But like, for example, like for me, one of the scenes of Saving Private Ryan stuck with me, and it kind of scarred me a little bit, Now I've processed it, but like it was like a whole time that I thought about it, and it just felt weird. Like I don't know if you've
I've
seen the
seen
movie,
it,
right?
yeah.
There's one scene of um, I don't remember when it takes place in the movie, but
Spoilers.
yeah, if you haven't seen Private Ryan,
Saving Private Ryan.
spoilers. The guy,
I think I remember it being a pretty good movie.
it is a good
Right?
movie.
Yeah.
The guy that sitting at a staircase. Like there are two guys fighting, and there is a guy that is hearing the fight
Yeah.
and is not intervening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the one of those two,
right.
like
And wasn't it like a close combat?
yeah, like
with
kills him with a knife or something
it's
like
horrible.
that.
Yeah.
That whole scene was just like first time I saw it, I was God knows 10, 12 or something like that. And for me, that was like very shocking because you haven't seen the close emotion of like somebody getting killed and just like not wanting to die and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that could be prevented if you are exposed to like more imagery of it at the age or like explanation of things.
It's also somewhat educational in a sense where the images you see of guys fighting in media as a kid is usually very like good guy versus bad
Exactly.
guy. And it's like choreographed and it looks cool and you're like in it, so there's a lot of adrenaline and stuff. And I feel like that scene makes it a lot more like abstract in a sense.
Yeah.
And
there's no bad, there's no good.
It's a lot more
there's
difficult.
Just,
It's like a struggle. It's slow. Something about like a slow hand-to-hand or like melee sort of fight is really difficult to watch. But it's also accurate. And having that sort of distance from it, I think, is really powerful. So I would agree with you there that it helps people realize like these things are not cool. But like genuinely, because I mean it's also like it's been beaten to death, this whole idea of like, oh, video games show or like glorify violence or movies glorify violence. It really depends on how you tell that story. There's another one, All Quiet on the Western Front, I think, is also one of those like war movies that's like an anti-war movie in a way.
I don't think I've seen this one.
I really enjoyed it, and it very much shows the like no spoilers, but just in general, it just shows it's about the First World War, and it shows in a very sort of like it's not super accurate, hyper accurate, but like pretty much how you go from like youthful idealism, like, oh yeah, I'm going to fight for my country, and being manipulated as well by my country to go fight, to like the basically the horrible reality of it, and like and I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it was like more or less shot in like one fluent. As much as possible, in like one fluent, or some scenes were anyway. I don't remember, but it was really good, and it's really I really like these war movies that are anti-war movies. I think those are really good because I really think
it shows the reality.
It's the reality of it, and it fucking sucks. I'm very anti-war in general.
Oh yeah, same. Yeah.
And I think it's important. So that's a good way to show it. And another thing I wanted to and that's maybe the last thing I really wanted to like tell you is. When we're talking about death, I love death. No, I actually have a
death approaches.
I have a book, like a sort of like a picture book, like for kids about death.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
I think that's really cool.
That's really good.
It's one. It's translated. It's the duck, the tulip, and death. I think it's translated something like this. Or the duck, death, and the tulip, something like that, whatever. And it's literally just, it's like you have a little personification of death, like a little guy with a little skull, and a duck, and it's about the duck dying, and it's for kids. And that's I think good. That's like super, super cool, because I also really don't like this, like we have to shield kids from death. I don't agree with that.
Stupid. I think it's one of the most stupid things that you can do.
And I think a lot of people are realizing that as well. I don't know if it's still so common. But that book that's the reason I bought it, is because I thought it was really cool and a really good way to just talk about death in a normalizing, respectful way, where it's not like, oh, just going to heaven and
It's going to the farm.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not. It's
No.
like this is just something that happens,
Yeah.
and also death in this book is not like a scary,
Mm-hmm.
not like a grim reaper with like a. I mean, it has a skull, but other than this, it's just some like a little figure. And I think that's kind of good. I think that's sort of a healthy way to deal with it.
Sounds like a very good way to like introduce to the concept of things.
Yeah.
Because when you're growing up, you never think about it. I mean, you shouldn't per se. Like it shouldn't consume your whole existence because you're still a kid. You just enjoy life, whatever. You'll have the existential dread when you're like in puberty or something, or right now when you're 30, whatever.
You had that so late.
No. I mean,
I was like, what? Puberty?
I was an emo kid. But just like knowing that it's there and not being like guided away from it is very important, I think. And that's a very good example that you brought up, and I like that very much.
Yeah, me too. It's a good one. It's a goodie.
A goodie.
So this episode, so we've talked about podcasting, kneecaps, and death.
How long?
Hello?
Oh, it's already 1 hour long. Holy shit. Okay.
Oh, man. I guess we should probably wrap it up then.
Yeah.
This was an unexpected topic, but
I mean, it was a genuine one.
I enjoyed it.
And I enjoyed it as well.
That means the next one we're going to have to go back to talking about some silly poop demon bullshit again.
I hope,
Screaming into our microphones.
We need to somehow find a balance between. I don't know how it happens. We started off just like light.
I feel like this episode was a bit of a balance. We did the stupid
good.
and we
Yeah.
did the serious.
Yeah.
So it'll be a journey. Will it ever get more structured? Will we ever have a certain? No, I
maybe
don't think so.
later. But that's what you can expect from this podcast. Shut up.
That's what you can expect.
I was trying to articulate. Okay, that's what you can expect from this. Fuck off. You were looking at me so deeply.
I'm just thinking of our first merch, and it's just gonna be a T-shirt.
Expect.
That's what you can expect.
I'm all here for it.
Right? So I feel like that's pretty good. That's
Just
what you
like
can
our
expect.
faces would just like semi-stroke.
Yeah, well, that's what you can expect.
That's what you can expect from this episode.
Oh my god!
I'm just purposely doing this.
It's been an hour. You're falling apart.
Silliness and also deep conversations about existentiality. I am falling apart.
And I'm just letting you do it. I'm not, because we agreed I wouldn't interrupt you as much, and I'm just watching you as you're collapsing.
No, that's the whole thing. When you start like paying attention to how you pronounce things, everything just falls apart.
Correct.
I had that happen on the stream a couple of times. We're just like, it's just a mess, and it just gets worse.
You have it happening now.
I have it happening?
You have it happening now. All right, shall we wrap up?
Yes.
On that note, thank you so much for joining me today. Joining
very
us today.
much.
Do we have an outro yet? I don't think we do.
No.
We just say, well, we're done. Bye.
Last episodes we just cut mid-sentence.
No, that does sound like something we would do. Well, maybe not this time. Yeah, thanks for listening, and we'll be back with another episode of One Corner Missing. I have still been
next time.
I have been Deemer.
I have been Self.
Bye.